A pair of diesel jeans costs $225, made in Bangladesh. A pair of Brave Star jeans costs $138, made in Los Angeles. By the end of this video, you will know which designer denim brands are collecting a logo tax and which ones put the money into the jean. Number 1. Diesel. Diesel was founded in 1978 in Mulvena, Italy by Renzo Rosso. For 2 decades, the name carried real weight, Italian design, European denim heritage, aspirational marketing that built one of the most recognizable fashion houses in the world. That was the 1990s and early 2000s. That is not what you are buying today. A pair of diesel jeans currently retails for $200 to $300 and up. The manufacturing label does not say Italy, it says Bangladesh or Turkey or Tunisia or Vietnam. The country rotates depending on the production run and the season. The fabric is commodity stretch denim, the same elastane blended cotton you find at mid-tier department stores at 1/3 of the price. Heavy wash treatments and distressing are applied at the factory to create the appearance of character. That character is chemical. It is sprayed on, sanded in, and finished before the jean ever leaves the warehouse. At $225, you are not paying for Italian construction. You are paying for an Italian name that was attached to Italian production 3 decades ago. Here is the comparison that should stop anyone from buying another pair. Diesel at $225, manufactured in Bangladesh. Standard stretch denim. Brave Star at $138, manufactured in Los Angeles. Premium selvedge construction. Same price tier, opposite product. The Italian name is doing 90% of the selling at Diesel today. The jean underneath is doing almost none of it. Number 2. True Religion. True Religion was founded in 2002 in Los Angeles by Jeffrey Lubell. For roughly 5 years, it defined a very specific era of American denim. The horseshoe stitching on the back pocket, the exaggerated flap, the thick contrast thread. A pair of True Religions in 2005 cost $300 and was cut and sewn in Los Angeles. That is worth acknowledging because what happened after is the story. True Religion filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2017, then again in 2020. 2 bankruptcies in 3 years. The brand survived both, but survival came with trade-offs. Production moved offshore. Most current manufacturing is in Vietnam, Bangladesh, and China. The Los Angeles cutting floor that defined the brand for its first decade is no longer where the jeans are made, and yet the price has barely moved. A pair of True Religions today retails for $150 to $250. The horseshoe on the back pocket is identical to the 2005 original. The thick contrast stitching is still there. Visually, on a shelf, the jean looks like the one men were buying 20 years ago. The construction is not the same. The cotton is not the same. The geography is not the same. A $300 pair made in Los Angeles in 2005 and a $250 pair made in Vietnam in 2026 share a logo. They do not share a jean. This is the heritage betrayal pattern. Same as Brooks Brothers in suits, same as Woolrich in jackets. A founding product that meant something specific. A corporate restructuring that moved production overseas. A logo that survived the move and kept collecting the premium. The horseshoe is worth roughly $180 of that retail price. The jean is worth the rest. Before we continue, you need to know what separates a premium denim from a commodity one, because on a hanger at 10 feet, most of them look identical. The difference is in 4 specific places. First, selvedge. Selvedge denim is woven on old shuttle looms that produce a self-finished edge on the fabric. Turn any jean inside out. Look at the outseam running down the outside of the leg. If you see a clean woven edge, often with a colored line, red, white, green, that is selvedge. It means the denim was woven slowly on machines most factories abandoned 50 years ago. Selvedge is the single fastest visual test for construction quality. Second, ring-spun cotton. Ring-spun yarn has a slightly irregular texture. It holds indigo better. It fades with character. Commodity denim uses open-end spun cotton. Faster, cheaper, fades flat. Third, ounce weight. Standard Levi's 501 denim averages around 10.5 ounces per square yard. Premium raw denim runs 14 to 16 ounces. Heavyweight Japanese denim runs 21 ounces and up. You can feel the weight the moment you pick the jean up. Fourth, chain stitching on the hem. A chain stitch creates the roping effect at the bottom of the leg as the jean ages. Lock stitch hems stay flat. Chain stitch hems develop character. Here is the uncomfortable evidence. The Levi's 501, the most iconic American jean, now suffers from a documented crotch blowout problem reported by thousands of long-term customers. Fabric weight dropped. The construction at the inseam was cost-reduced. Even the brand that invented modern denim has cut corners. That is how far commodity production has spread. If you want breakdowns that follow the money through every menswear category, subscribe. No brand deals on this channel, no sponsorships, just construction data and prices. Number 3. 7 for All Mankind, founded in 2000 in Los Angeles. For the first 7 years, it was one of the defining premium American denim brands of the decade. Then, in 2007, VF Corporation acquired it. VF Corporation is the same conglomerate that owns dozens of apparel brands globally. In 2016, 7 for All Mankind was sold again to Delta Galil Industries. 2 corporate ownership changes in 9 years, each one accompanied by production shifts. Today, 7 for All Mankind jeans are manufactured in China, Mexico, and Morocco. The Los Angeles cutting floor that defined the brand in its original decade is no longer where the jeans come from. Current retail is $150 to $250. The fabric is commodity stretch denim with wash treatments. The name sits on the back patch. The construction does not justify the price tier it is still positioned in. This is the private equity pattern applied to denim. Buy the brand, keep the name, move the factory, collect the margin that the original brand equity built, and let the product quietly drift downward while the price stays roughly where it was. The 2000 Los Angeles original and the 2026 Morocco production share a name on the back pocket. They do not share a construction standard. A man buying 7 for All Mankind today is paying for a brand that was built by a jean that no longer exists. At this price, the comparison is brutal. $200 gets you a Moroccan manufactured commodity jean under the 7 FAM label, or it gets you a Brave Star Selvage made in Los Angeles with $60 to spare. Number 4. Hudson Jeans, founded in 2002 in Los Angeles by Peter Kim. For its first 7 years, Hudson defined a recognizable silhouette in American premium denim. The triangular back pocket, the Union Jack logo, jeans cut and sewn in Los Angeles, pricing positioned alongside True Religion and 7 for All Mankind at the peak of the designer denim boom. Then the private equity machine arrived. In 2009, Fireman Capital Partners took a majority stake. In 2013, Joe's Jeans acquired Hudson for $97 million. Within a year, the new owner made the announcement that changed the product forever. Hudson Jeans production would relocate from Los Angeles to Mexico. Joe's Jeans publicly stated the reason: to reduce production costs by 20 to 35% per garment. And the ownership carousel did not stop there. In 2015, the combined entity merged with Robert Graham to form Differential Brands Group. In 2018, Differential rebranded as Centric Brands after a $1.2 billion licensing roll-up pulled in Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Nautica, and dozens of other mass-market names. In 2020, Centric Brands filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Public equity was wiped out. A consortium of credit sponsors took control. 4 ownership changes in 11 years. 1 bankruptcy, 1 class action settlement over false, Made in USA labeling. Each transition accompanied another production shift offshore. Today, Hudson Jeans retails for $180 to $225. The triangular pocket is still there. Manufacturing is coordinated by a licensing corporation that treats denim the same way it treats accessories and beauty products, as a brand to be sourced, packaged, and distributed. The Los Angeles premium heritage that defined Hudson for its first decade is no longer what the jean represents. It is what the logo reminds you of. Number 5. Rag & Bone, founded in 2002 in New York City by David Neville and Marcus Wainwright. The brand is currently owned by WHP Global, a private equity brand management firm. Jeans retail for $200 to $300. Manufacturing is split between China, Vietnam, and a small limited run of U.S. production on a single fit line. The overwhelming majority of rag and bone denim sold is manufactured overseas. The positioning is New York, the aesthetic is Brooklyn, the pricing is Manhattan, the manufacturing is global. The rag and bone story is not unique in this video. It is the designer fashion house model applied to denim. Build the brand in an aspirational city. Sell the imagery. Manufacture the product wherever the cost structure works. A $250 rag and bone jean is a Vietnamese manufactured commodity stretch denim with Brooklyn branding and Manhattan retail markup. The jean is competent, the price is not. At this price point, the story costs roughly $150 more than the jean does. 5 brands, 5 stories that outgrew the jean underneath them. But this channel is not about what is wrong with menswear, it is about what still works. 5 denim brands that never let the story get bigger than the construction. Number 1. Studio D'Artisan. In 1979, in Osaka, Japan, a small workshop began weaving denim on vintage shuttle looms in a way that had already been abandoned by American mills. The founder, Shigeharu Tagaki, was working against the entire global trend. The world was moving to cheaper, faster projectile looms. Studio D'Artisan went the other direction, toward old machines, toward slower production, toward indigo dyed the way it was dyed a century earlier. They became the first of what would later be called the Osaka Five. The group of Japanese denim houses, Studio D'Artisan, Denim, Evisu, Full Count, and Warehouse, that single-handedly revived selvage denim as a global category. Today, Studio D'Artisan jeans are woven in Okayama on vintage Toyota G3 shuttle looms. The cotton is Suvan Gold, one of the rarest cotton varieties in the world. The indigo is natural. Some yarns are dyed by hand. The output is slow. The construction is exceptional. Retail prices run $300 to $500. For this level of Japanese selvage heritage, this is market fair pricing. At this price tier, you're not paying for marketing. You are paying for 46 years of continuous production on looms that are older than most of the designers on the robbing side of this list. Studio D'Artisan did not chase fashion. They preserved a method, and that preservation is what makes every pair they produce a record of denim history that most designer brands have quietly erased from their own supply chains. Number 2. Momotaro Jeans. Founded in 2006 in Kojima, in the Okayama Prefecture of Japan. Kojima is the denim capital of Japan. The region has been dyeing indigo and weaving textiles for over 300 years, since the Edo period. When a brand says "Made in Kojima," that phrase carries the same weight that "Made in Northampton" carries for English shoes. Momotaro is named after a Japanese folk hero, the Peach Boy. Each pair features hand-painted stripes on the back pocket. The premium lines use Zimbabwe cotton, one of the highest quality long staple cottons available globally. Standard Momotaro jeans retail for $250 to $500. The Battle Series, their top line, runs well over $1,000. These are hand-loomed on vintage Toyota G3 machines at an output rate of approximately 2 meters of fabric per day. 2 meters. Per day? Per loom? That pace is not a marketing claim. It is the physical maximum of what those machines can produce when run correctly. When every pair of jeans is woven at 2 meters per day, you are not buying fashion. You are buying craft preserved from centuries past. Compare this to diesel. At $225, a diesel jean is a Bangladesh woven commodity stretch garment. At $250, a Momotaro is a Kojima woven selvage jean from a 300-year-old textile region. $25 separates them on the price tag. Centuries separate them on the loom. Number 3. Pure Blue Japan, founded in 1997 in Kojima. Same textile region as Momotaro. Different obsession. Pure Blue Japan is built around a single color, indigo. While American designer brands chase stretch percentages and wash treatments, Pure Blue Japan spends years perfecting natural indigo dyeing. Some dips are done by hand. The process takes days per batch. The results are uneven, slubby, and alive. Every pair is visibly different from the next. The cotton is intentionally slubby. The yarn is intentionally uneven. What commodity denim would reject as defective, Pure Blue Japan treats as the point. The irregularity is the product. Retail runs $300 to $500. A pair of Pure Blue Japan jeans will fade differently than any other pair on earth. The indigo will develop in a pattern specific to how the wearer moves, bends, and sits. After 2 years of daily wear, the jean becomes a physical record of the man who wore it. At $300, you are not paying for a jean. You're paying for a 20-year wearing relationship with a garment that outlasts 3 generations of mass-market replacements. Number 4. Ironheart, founded in 2001 by Shinichi Haraki in Japan. Ironheart is not a fashion brand, it is a workwear brand with a following in the biker, motorcycle, and heavy-use denim communities. The signature is weight. Ironheart's flagship denim runs 21 ounces per square yard. Some lines run 25. For reference, a standard Levi's 501 weighs roughly 10.5 ounces. An Ironheart 21-ounce jean contains more than twice the fabric per square yard of a standard American commodity jean. The weight is not a gimmick, it is a functional specification. 21-ounce denim takes 6 months to break in. Once it does, it conforms to the wearer's body in a way thinner denim cannot. It also survives wear patterns that destroy commodity jeans in 2 years. Chain stitching throughout. Heavy-duty hardware. Construction designed for men who actually put jeans through real work. Retail runs $290 to $450. The cult following in the denim community is not built on marketing. It is built on the fact that the jeans are documented to last a decade of regular wear. Here is the direct comparison. A diesel jean at $225, 10-ounce commodity fabric, Bangladesh manufactured, expected wear life of 2 to 3 years of regular use. An Ironheart jean at $300, 21-ounce heavyweight selvage, Japanese manufactured, expected wear life approaching a decade. The construction is the brand. The brand is the construction. There is no logo tax to separate the two. Number 5. Brave Star Selvage. Founded in 2013 in Los Angeles by Matt Benedetto. Brave Star represents something the designer denim industry does not want widely understood. Premium American-made selvage construction does not require a fashion house markup. The model is direct to consumer. No department store takes a cut. No wholesale layer adds margin. No retail flagship rent gets absorbed into the price tag. The denim itself, sourced from premium Japanese and Italian mills after the closure of Cone Mill's White Oak in 2017, is cut and sewn in a small workshop in Los Angeles. Entry-level selvedge jeans retail for $120 to $180. Heavyweight lines run $200 to $300. This is the anchor of the entire video. Diesel at $225, manufactured in Bangladesh from commodity stretch denim. Brave Star at $138, manufactured in Los Angeles from premium selvage. Same price tier, opposite product. One pair collects a fashion house margin on commodity construction. The other pair is the construction, sold at a price that reflects the absence of a middleman chain. Brave Star does not have a 30-year heritage. It does not have a royal warrant or a celebrity endorsement list. What it has is the economic proof that the designer denim premium is not paying for better denim. It is paying for the markup chain that sits between the jean and the man wearing it. At this price, Brave Star is not the budget option. It is the evidence. 5 logos that outgrew the jean underneath them. 5 workshops that never let the story get bigger than the construction. The pattern is the same one this channel has traced across every menswear category. Suits, shoes, jackets, polos, and now denim. Heritage names selling commodity construction at heritage prices. Smaller, focused manufacturers delivering the quality those names abandoned when private equity came through the door. The inside of the jean tells you everything the logo on the outside is designed to distract you from. If you own designer denim over $200, drop the brand and how many years you have worn them. The real test of jeans is after 200 wears and 20 washes. Help the next man know which ones make it that far. If you missed our breakdown on the 8 suit brands men should never buy, it is linked below. Same pattern, different category. And our video on luxury shoe brands covers the same construction question. Both follow the money the same way this one did. Subscribe if you have not. This channel follows the money, not the marketing.